Fanboy, 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 fanboy. Murdered Soul Suspect is a horrible game, and it completely is garbage. What a terrible adventure game. Yeah, we're still getting adventure games. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's 2014. It is 2014. It is actually, not 1998 anymore. Can somebody tell these publishers and stupid developers to stop releasing adventure games? Murdered Soul Suspect. First of all, before we even get into it, the first time I ever heard of Murdered, and the first time I saw the trailer for Soul Suspect, I thought it was a PC game. And that was it, strictly one of these computer, PC-only games, not really a console title, not for the console systems. Because it felt like a PC game, it felt like a PC trailer, it felt like a perfectly PC type of experience, one of those cheap, niche, horrible audience type of idiot fan base that's just completely dumb, this adventure crap. Nobody plays adventure games anymore, alright? Nobody! And if you are even curious about it, well, you gotta be like in your 40s or something, some freaking old, balding, fat guy who's got wrinkles, a wrinkly forehead, probably got hemorrhoids in your, between your anal cavities or something. I mean, this is horrible. A Murdered Soul Suspect. Nobody cares about Murdered anymore. Soul Suspect. It's an adventure game developed by Square Enix Japan and Airtight Games. It came out on the PC, PS3, came out on the PS4, the 360, and the Xbox One. So, just like with all these multi-plats, it's so trendy. It's so trendy to have a multi-plat. A multi-platform game. It's got to come out for every current gen and last gen console that's sold above, 5 million copies. Which is probably why it's not on the Wii U. I mean, that makes sense. It's not on the frickin' Wii U. Because nobody plays the Wii U. And that's pretty sad. But that being said, I mean, Xbox One makes sense. PS4 makes sense. Even the PC makes sense. But PS3 and 360, really? Again, crappy last-gen ports. It's not even... Those are irrelevant. The only reason that they put out all these stupid multiplats on the last-gen systems as well, including Watch Dogs, games like that, is because of the install base. The demographic on those systems is like 80 million each, if not more, It's like tens and tens of millions of people that still own and play those consoles, so they gotta cash in, even though the port sucks. Watch Dogs is a perfect example. And can you imagine if GTA 5 was on the PS4 and Xbox One? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they released a later, version for those systems just to, make money off it. Some sort of collection or something. You never know, but that's my point, is that it could have been so much better on the next gen, or at least, the better version, better graphics, the one that you should be playing right now, instead of the idiot 360 and the terrible PS3. Put it this way. It's 2014, it's almost summer of 2014, and we're still getting games for a console that came out in 2005 and 2006. The PS3 and the 360. Consoles that came out in that year. The original 360, the white console, the 20 gig, and the core model, they can still run frickin' Murdered Soul Suspect. Or at least a port of it. Same with the PS3, the original fat PS3s that came out in late '06. Can run Murdered Soul Suspect. Adventure stealth game, you know, it's a single player game. Yeah, the storyline stunk. Some stupid whodunit, you know, detective type of crap, supernatural garbage. Ronan O'Connor is thrown out of a window and he's pursuing the killer, you know, the Bell serial killer. It's about some, you know, there's a young girl, Joy, and then, you know, she witnesses a murder and then can see, you know, can see ghosts. Possesses the ability to see ghosts. So they're basically ripping off The Sixth Sense. That's right. This is just a rip-off of The Sixth Sense, starring Bruce, what's his name, from like the 90s or something, you know, the kid, you know, that little kid. And he goes, "I see dead people. I see." That was the infamous line that everybody quoted. "I see dead people." And it turned out the little kid was some sort of, you know, he could see ghosts, and it turns out the Bruce character was dead all along, and he was a ghost and a spirit. You know, it's a typical crap, you know, it's just a rip-off of that, and there's really not much else to say. The reception has been horrible. It basically just rips off Ghost Trick Phantom Detective from 2010. It's another adventure game from 2010, but it just steals ideas off it. So it's basically Murdered Soul Suspect just steals everything from Ghost Trick Phantom Detective from 2010. How horrible is that? I don't know. This is so pathetic. I don't even know what to say. The game won a bunch of awards before it came out. It had, like, you know, official Best Buy Magazine Gamer, most valuable game of 2013 E3, most valuable game on the Xbox Magazine, the Escapist We Love It Award, best game you heard nothing about from Games Radar. It's pretty, you know, they just make it up, you know, these stupid awards, and then when it comes out, guess how much it has on the freaking on the Metascore, on the Metacritic. Right now on the PS4, it's got a 59. It's got a 59 on the PS4 Metascore, and a 6.2. It's got a 6.2 on the user score. How is this worth buying? So the fans gave it a 6.2 overall, and it's got a 59, even lower by the official, you know, the professional reviewers. You know, 59. How is this worth checking out? EGM gave it a 55. Okay, a 55? A 55. The absence of compelling characters keep what's otherwise an interesting idea from landing any staying power. So the idea is interesting, but there's no compelling characters. So that sucks. That's no compelling characters. That's basically the staple of an adventure game, is to have these compelling characters. It doesn't even have that. Metro Game Central gave it a 30. A 30. Got a 30. A 30, yes. Unfortunately, making the fantastical seem mundane is one of the game's few real achievements. But the problem is that the premise of a ghostly investigator attempting to save himself and his town from demonic forces shouldn't be this tedious. It's tedious, it's a piece of turd tedious tripe, that's what it is. Murdered Soul Suspect, more like Bored Soul Suspect, because it's so boring. You just want to, you know, turn it off. The Globe and Mail via Toronto gave it a 50, so the game straddles the line between intrigue and monotony, but fails to ever really come to life despite its promising premise. Again, oh, promising premise. Oh, who cares if the premise is promising, but they don't deliver, they fail to deliver in the execution, then it's a pile of absolute orangutan scrotum sacks. I mean, come on. Terrible. I don't even know what else to say. User score, Plasma Needle gave it a 4 out of 10. He's like, you know, this person, well, I don't know if it's a he or a she, but Plasma Needle said, The open world is small and restrictive, the last thing an open world should be. The best part of the gameplay are very scripted, and so the game as a whole feels restrictive. The main character is a cliche, and it's pretty boring. The other characters are no better. It's a boring attempt at a murder mystery game lacking both good gameplay or an interesting story. Yeah, just for hits and giggles, let's take a look at the Xbox One scores. Yeah, so, yes, a 50 out of 100 Metascore and a 6.7 user score. So ironically enough, it's kind of reversed, where, you know, it's maybe a little bit higher the user score on the Xbone, but it's higher on the PS4 Metascore, but they're both like really low. They're both crappy scores anyway. Yeah, there's no official scores on the I should say the 360 version. 360 version has nothing. It does have an 8.8 user score, but there's only like one rating, so it could have been just, you know, one doofus, you know, giving it a score. And a 5.5 on the PS3. The PS3 has a 5.5 user score, no official Metascore. So miraculously, the 360 got an 8.8 user score somehow. But I mean, that could have been. It's only got 11 ratings right now on the user score, so you know, like, you know, one person giving it a perfect, you know, score or something like that, and then it rounds out with the other ones that give it a bad score. And the PC, I mentioned the PC. This game should be a PC game. It's got a 60 out of 100 on the PC and a 7.9 user score, a 7.9. So maybe the PC version is the best version, even though again it's complete, absolute terrible turtle turds. It should be at the bottom of the ocean floor instead of, you know, surface. Is Square Enix? Can these idiots be any more horrible at putting out games? They're so incompetent with these titles. They have nothing. Square Enix is the biggest failure when it comes to publishing games. I don't even know. Airtight Games. Airtight Games. I've never heard of these guys. The adventure genre is dead. It's been gone. It's like, it's dead like the protagonist of this game. I mean, I can't even believe they're still trying to put out. And I remember when the trailer came out like 2 years ago. It wasn't particularly memorable, but it didn't seem too bad. You know, it seemed okay, but now it's out. I'm gonna say this again. 2014 might be the worst year in gaming, with crap like Murdered, and Watch Dogs, and Kirby, and all these idiot titles that, you know, Mario Fart. It's bad. There's, I don't know. You know, it's like 9 months until the next Call of Duty comes out. The next COD. I think it's Advanced Warfare this time. So at least that's something to look forward to. You know, COD is the only thing that's keeping gaming alive right now. You know, it's all about the next Call of Duty. Awesome gameplay. You know, great FPS style. Multiplayer, off the chain. Best graphics. It's all about COD. Murdered Soul Suspect is for sad idiots that still, you know, find some sort of hope that they think that adventure games are good, but it's really not. It's finished. That's it for this episode of Fanboy Reviews. And until next time, keep fanboying. Yeah!